All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. I've been watching loads of videos of these so-called truthers, right? And some of these YouTubers, and a lot of these people, all of a sudden now, right, after the Hebrew Israelites have been talking about the world and how it's wicked for decades, right? For the last 50 decades, going from obviously Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ariamlab, right, and Apostle Rakaba, even before them with their teachers, the people that taught them, right? They've been talking about all of these things, but now that these things are becoming shine to the light with everybody, a lot of people that heard about the Hebrew Israelites and watched the Hebrew Israelites and saw some of the videos that the Hebrew Israelites put out there, right, and tried to laugh at the things and scoff at the things that they said initially, right, and tried to disregard the things that they said initially. Now that other people that have looked at the word and be like, you know what, that's true, but I'm not going to say that I got it from them though, right? I'm going to try and take what they said and I'm going to try and make out like it was my knowledge. And now I'm going to try and get famous from it, and I'm going to try and make out like I'm some kind of leader, and I came up with this for myself from my own research. They're not going to say where they got it from, right? For example, Kanye West never said where he learned that he was a Hebrew Israelite from. He never said that. He never said, man, where did I find out that I'm a Hebrew Israelite from? When Kyrie Irving came out and spoke about that documentary on the internet, I can't remember, Hebrews to Negroes, I believe it was, right? And the IUIC came out to see him. He tried to make out like he didn't know who the hell there was and didn't see all of those people. Damn liar, man. Right? And then after saying, oh, bringing out that documentary, then he just disregarded it all for after a while trying to play rebellious, and then gave 60,000 to a Muslim organization. But here it is, he came out with a documentary about Hebrews to Negroes, about Israelites. So what's happening gradually that we're seeing, man, is that these elites, man, are trying to pick out people that they want to pick to try and talk about the same topics that the Israelites talk about, right? But not in mass, and they're doing it in a coward way, right? And what a lot, and then there'll be some people that are doing it of their own self, but they're being made to like talk about the same talking points that Israelites talk about, so that they can prepare, man, so that they can prepare to try and bring Israelites in the mainstream and interrogate Israelites and try and make out like the message that Israelites are pushing out is not true, man. And they've even got some people that believe that these Christians, these Edomite Christians out there, these fake ones, these fake Edomite Christians that are teaching that God loves everybody and all that doctrine, right? They're trying to make out like them people are bringing out the scriptures for real, but no, they're not, man. Them people don't know the Bible for real. Because if they did, they'd pick it up and they'd cry when they read it, and they'd read Obadiah and they'd cry themselves to sleep at night, man. Because they'd know that that's talking about the extermination of their whole gene pool, man. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Now, people don't disregard that the Atlantic slave trade happened, right? They don't disregard that happened, but that's one of the things that this world don't want to talk about when it talks about injustice. These people will talk about all types of conspiracy theories to the blue in the face now these days, right? They'll say, oh, yeah, there's a secret Kabbalah, blah, 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 and all of this, right? But then if we start saying to them, yeah, there is that, all that, and you got these mans talking about the Matrix, bro. It's a Matrix, bro, and all of that, right? I'm trying to help you free out the Matrix. But if we start dropping on them, well, do you think this Matrix that you're talking about, bruv? Yeah? This Matrix that you're talking about all the time, right? You think this Matrix caused for the Israelites, the real Israelites, to be put into slavery, right? And while they was in slavery, beat them. And the whole time they was beating them and raping them and graping them and destroying them, you think that they was causing for these people to have their actual culture changed and manipulated out of them and replaced with something else that's destructive and degenerate. And once they felt like they've did that to these people, then And after these people rebelled enough and started fighting back physically, then they was like, you know what, we can't try this plan anymore. We need to come up with an easier method to get these people to just do what we want them to do and not remember who they are. So we're gonna use the book that we know that is part of their culture, which is the Bible, but we're gonna have to change some stuff out of that. So let's give them a slave Bible, or let's beat them if we catch them reading the Bible, and pick out teachers from among their people that we want to choose, and you start dropping knowledge on them like that. And if they see a 12 tribes sign, people will switch off. Nah, no, that's ridiculous. I don't think that could possibly ever happen. But you believe all this other stuff though, right? You believe you believe that the world cares so much about one man from Luton, right? That's got a Bugatti, right? And cares about his impact. But this same man that everyone's getting gassed over, what nationality was his father? Is it not the same nationality of the people that went through the Atlantic slave trade? But people don't want to talk about that, right? People don't want to talk about how what these matrix people that you're talking about have deliberately known who was in the land of America when they came over there, and came with a Hebrew interpreter with the plan of destroying these people and beating their customs out of them, because they didn't want them to repent and return unto their Lord, unto their Father, because they understand that the Israelites returning unto their true nationality and repenting means the destruction of them. And the Israelites have to be oppressed in order for them to be able to push out what they want to push out on the world. But if the Israelites ever have free reign to do whatever they want to do and follow their customs, they can always repent. But if I'm in control of them, then I can stop them from repenting, because I can just keep pushing degeneracy among their people and causing them to sin, which sin causes them to go through the curses that are written in the Bible, Deuteronomy 28th chapter. Now, if you start telling people all of this, that say that there's a matrix, bro, and all of this, and want to talk about societies of that occult and all of this kind of stuff, they ain't going to try to take it there. They ain't going to want to take it there, but they're so deep, though, right? They're so deep. And when our dead bodies was lying in the street of the Great Sea, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, which is in America, none of these people cared about that, right? Neither do they care now. But we're supposed to care about their problems and about how their society's falling. Their society's falling because of what they did to us. Our Father who's in heaven, Yahweh, right? He's destroying this place, man. And he's using them to destroy their own society. And that's why all this truth's being spoken out about this place now. And these people can't hide themselves no more, man. But most of these people that are coming out and speaking the truth don't want to take it all the way. They ain't going to start talking about all this stuff. They'll talk about Kanye West and what he said, but they won't talk about everything he said, though. There'll be some parts of what Kanye West said that they won't want to talk about. For example, they won't want to talk about how Kanye West said that he's a Jew, so he can't be anti this and anti that. They don't want to talk about that, because then they have to start looking at the people that they want to call black a lot differently. Verse 9, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. Because when we was in hardcore slavery, man, they didn't care, man. Right? They didn't business, and they don't care now neither. They fake care, right? They'll say, man, this is an outrage. Nobody should be treated like this. And also, I've got a problem that I want to talk about. It's a complete outrage that these African Americans are being shot down in America. But I've got another problem that also should be introduced into this that I want to talk about. Oh yeah, these lives matter. But while these lives are mattering, let me throw my life in there, because my life matters too with all of that. And then I'm going to say, actually, yeah, let me talk about my life a bit more mattering. Which that whole matter lives thing was BS anyway, man. Because we ain't those lives that they were saying that we mattered. We're Israelites. Verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets, meaning the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, tormented them that dwell upon the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And that's what people are seeing now, man, and they're terrified, man. They're wanting to try and make out like they're deep, right? They're trying to make out like they're deep, and they want to talk about this and talk about that, right? But that's the one thing that none of these people want to talk about, man. These people will talk about everything to the blue in the face, but you'll see that some of these men that are supposed to be so masculine and all that, they don't want to talk about that part. And you'll see that these Christians that stand on the street corner, right? These Christians that stand on the street corner, running their mouth, babbling, flapping their gums off, telling everyone about themselves, right? Or these Jehovah's Witnesses that want to stand out with these things, they don't want to talk about that though. You know, if you ask one of these so-called black people that are supposedly a Christian, have they heard that so-called black people are Israelites, right? They don't want to talk about that. They'll try and make her like that's not a thing that's interesting to speak about, and they've heard about it, but they'll try and fake like they haven't heard about it. And then if you say to them, why do you believe that all these people are saying it? Is it true? Or are they just making up some doctrine, and they're just disgruntled youths that are trying to come up with something fun and try and invent something for themselves out of the Bible? They ain't got nothing to say about that. They ain't got nothing to say, man, but you know that they're talking about it in their churches, behind the scenes, when they're probably looking at the so-called black people in their churches more sideways now. If one of the so-called black people that are in their church, the men, right, didn't used to have a beard and starts growing one, they'll probably try and start trying to make him not grow one, man, or start looking at him sideways like, oh, I wonder if he's picking up that Hebrew doctrine. That's what they'll be doing, man. All these people that think that they're real, they ain't real as they think they are, man. They ain't as real as they think they are. And there's some things that these people don't want to talk about, man. They ain't trying to take it there. But some of these people have been told to talk about certain things anyway. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, everything's being guided towards preparing to try and make the Israelites look foolish, man. So the world, they're bringing out certain people so that everyone's mindset can already be in defense of Esau faking to be Israel, right? Those people that are Edomites really faking to be Israel, man. Those J-Wish, right? They're trying to set the stage for the world to be in defense of them, because everyone's going to see how many other people got so-called destroyed when they wanted to talk about these things. Or some people are that have got a big following will say, it doesn't even matter about none of this stuff, who cares? Fix your own life first and get yourself to be in the top 1% before you even start talking about any of these stuff. What's the point even talking about it? Oh, if you're not rich and you live in your mother's basement, you shouldn't even be thinking about stuff like this. Who are you to say? Who the fuck are you to tell us what we should think about? You think because you're rich, nigga, that means you can try and tell us what we can talk about? Who the fuck are you? In fact, the people that God's gonna choose ain't rich. So what are you saying? You're of the people that you're of the people that can't talk about it, man. Because you're trying to worry about how much money you got, you demons. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 25, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Now a rich man in this world is considered mighty, right? Because anything he says, people consider it gospel truth, because they'll be in defense of him, because they'll be like, well, he must be saying something real because he's a millionaire, right? As if there ain't people in this world that are becoming millionaires by doing fart pranks or something like that, man. Walking by people with a fart instrument, pretending like they're farting when they're walking down the street. As if there ain't people that have become rich on YouTube from doing that. As if there ain't people that have become rich on YouTube by just antagonizing people that are walking down the street and saying it's a prank when you can't prank nobody that you don't know, man. If you're trying to so-called prank somebody that you don't know, you're just antagonizing them when they're walking down the street, and you should really get your ass whooped, to be honest with you. But God have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And I ain't recommending that anybody does that, by the way. But God have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. So somebody that's poor, they're weak, right? Somebody that's poor in this world, they ain't considered wise, man. They're considered foolish, because the world says, if you're so smart, yeah, and you know all of this, how comes you're broke? That's what they'll say. If we stood in front of some of these people and told them what it really is, right, they're going to just, while we're talking, You're going to see that glazed over eyes where their souls being blocked from hearing the truth. And they're going to just be looking at your clothes. Okay, they'll be like, Primark jeans. His t-shirt looks like it's maybe from H&M. What jacket brand is that? Oh, that looks a bit generic brand to me. It doesn't look like it's a Barber jacket or a Moncler. So I don't really rate what my man's talking about. What are them trainers? Are those just normal trainers? Those are not Balenciaga trainers that he's rocking. So who's my man to tell me, you ain't rich, don't tell me nothing. That's how this world looks at people, man. They don't say, you know what, let me see if what he's saying is true. And then even the people that have looked and said, you know what these people are saying are true, what they do is they're like, yeah, I'm gonna bite that. So I'm gonna take that knowledge and I'm gonna try and make money from it. So I'm gonna take that stuff that they're talking about, but I'm gonna set it up on a Patreon, or I'm gonna hit Twitch, or I'm gonna go on one of these Rumble thing or whatever, and I'm gonna say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the Cash App, yeah. And I'm gonna have a Cash App emblem all up on the screen and try and make money from it, right? But there's been men out there that ain't trying to make money from it. There've been men that know the truth of the world for real, every aspect, and can combine it all together, right? And they've been doing it for 30 plus years. And they ain't trying to make money from it. If you search up them, if you was to know their name and search them up, you ain't going to see that they've got 150 million in a bank account, which as a Hebrew Israelite, having that amount of money in your bank account is ridiculous to have that net worth, if that's true. Because Bruce Wayne, as in people that have played Bruce Wayne, man, Ben Affleck, he's got that same amount of net worth, 150 million, man. So if you're a Hebrew Israelite and you've got that same kind of net worth, you have to be looked at a bit sideways, man, because that's ridiculous. Even if you had 10% of that, that would be a bit strange, man, because the spirits should be against you for making wealth, right? If we understand what the doctrine says, your life should be getting made harder. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. And money can be a temptation, but it will be strange if you're making that kind of money as an Israelite, man. That would be pushing that word, because it's against everything that's in this world. So what are you doing that causes you to have that kind of money? Would it just be from people that respect you and they're giving donations? I don't think so, man. Like, it's real strange, you know? Or are you trying to sell the word? 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 28. And the basins of the world, which would be people that are poor, and things which are despised, which again would be people that are poor, God have chosen. So the things that people don't like, God's chosen them. God's chosen the things that people don't like. So there might be a person, right? And this is where people are going to start thinking it's a game. There might be people that live in a family member's basement and they know the truth more than your ass. That's a billionaire and being around the wickedness that they're talking about. But you're trying to make it like it ain't what you see. Or say, I don't care, because I can't do nothing against it anyway. But then at the same time, you want to act like you're rebellious. You're part of the problem. You're actually part of the problem if you get to a certain amount of wealth, see what's going on, and try and say to people it don't matter, because you really want to just have your life as you've got it, right? And don't really care about nothing deep, man, because you ain't deep like that. You want to fake being deep because you've seen that there's money in it. But then when it gets real deep and you're like, nah, man, nah, it don't matter. Live and let live, you know? But that's a good thing that certain men out there in this world have not got any kind of things that you can try and persuade them with and try and say, I'm going to cancel her. And that's why a lot of these punks out there want to always try and know Hebrew Israelites' personal names, man. They want to know their personal name, their personal info, so that they can search them up, right? And try and find out things about their life, man. Because you people are demons, really. You want to find out things about people's personal life and try and see if you can cancel them. Oh, he works here. Oh, he works at this company. Oh, he lives here. Oh, he lives on this road. Oh, this is a picture of his woman. This is what his woman looks like. Oh, he used to go to this school. You want to try and be able to do that, so you can try and cancel people, but you can't cancel Yahweh Shai, because that's who we're speaking about, man. We ain't speaking about like we're going to do anything. Yahweh Shai is going to do it, man. And when World War III pops off, Yahweh Shai is going to show himself to the world, man. And it's going to be something that people will laugh at. But World War III is going to cause for the Messiah that's mentioned in the Bible, whose real name is Yahweh Shai, to show up. And let me get the prophecy. so that nobody can't try to say that they ain't heard this before. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. Now what's going to cause the shaking? Nuclear war. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now, in a time like that, nobody ain't going to be trying to say that a poor person can't talk about nothing, because it's going to be people that was poor that was speaking about this, and the poor that are rich in faith are going to become the boldest people that you ever seen in your life, man. Because the things that they was talking about happened, and everything that you was talking about has perished away, man. Thinking that this society is just going to continually flow, and that people should just try and strive to be a billionaire before they start talking about whether Wish people are running everything around here. So-called. You know? You got to become a billion. You think you got to become the top 1% of all people in the world before you can talk about what's going on in the world. Who the hell do you think you are to say that? Who the hell do these people think they are to try and tell us what we can talk about? Fuck you. And it's going to be a real interesting day, man. It's going to be a real interesting day. Let me read the last bit of that, man. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So that's going to be not everybody. Those are only going to be Israelites, man. And it's going to be a real interesting day when the media, the mainstream media, which is really run by the elites of Esau, sends for certain people to be brought forth in front of the world, man. Because they're going to think, man, we've tried out our algorithm of questions with all these other people, and we found them to become weak after we put the pressure on them, and after we put them shining lights on them and answered them questions, we found them to not be real about what they say they believe in, man, right? But when they come at the Israelites that they're going to use, that the people, whoever they're going to pick, man, whoever they might try and find a brother that they might think, man, he can't even talk properly, man. So let's get him, because if we get him in front of them, they're going to be like, man, this is the people that are talking about this kind of stuff. He looks like an idiot. They're going to try and do that. They might try and get a brother that don't look like a certain, has an image that this world hates, man. You know, they're going to try and find people that are like, man, look at him. Yeah, this is one of the ones we can try and put in front of there. He's going to look like an idiot when we start putting pressure on him. Or this brother here, this man here, he always gets angry real quick. So if we use him, he might shout and swear, and then we're going to be able to be like, see, these people are crazy. Luke chapter 21 and verse 12, but before all these, they shall lay hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Now, this already happened in ancient times. You can read about it in the Acts of the Apostles, the book of Acts, man. But it's going to happen again. Verse 13, and it shall turn to you for a testimony, right? And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay, nor resist. So when they try and bring Hebrew Israelites in front of this world, right? They're gonna whoever's trying to run that interview, or whichever judge or lawyer is trying to talk, they're gonna be made to look stupid, man. And they're gonna have that cognitive dissonance where they get asked a question and their CPR ain't rocking right, man. They're gonna be just thinking about the question for 10 minutes straight, because they're not gonna be talking to a man in that time. God's gonna be speaking through that man to ask and answer questions according to what Yahweh wants the answer to be, the question to be answered or asked. And he's gonna make these people look stupid, man. And he's gonna expose this wicked world for how wicked and evil it is, man. And we might, whoever the person is, man, they might just talk about something that this person's did in their life, right? That nobody knows about, and say, well, you're saying I'm this and I'm this evil and I'm this and I'm that person, right? But what about this person that you've did this to, that you've got right now at this address? Do you want to talk about that? And then the person just goes, what? Huh? What? What do you mean? That's a preposterous. But then somebody looks into it and searches out to see if there's somebody at that address, and they find, you know what? You know what? There is. How the hell did he know about that? Because he's never been to that place in his life. He's never even been to that country before. He's never been there. So how did he know about that sin that you did? Or one of the judges or lawyers might be trying to talk, and the Israelite just says, well, you're saying I'm this, and you're saying that I'm aggressive, and you're calling me these things. But what about this unsolved murder that happened at this year, on this time, at this date, in this place? You were the one that committed that. You were the one that committed that crime. And I'ma tell people right now where the evidence is. And these are the kind of things that's gonna be happening, man. When you people try and come up against us, Yahweh's gonna allow the men to reveal who you are. You're gonna think that you're revealing who they are. No, it's gonna be revealed who you are and what you're up to. Verse 15 again. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. Right? They ain't gonna be able to say anything against what they be hearing, man. Because there's more than enough that we can talk about this world. Oh, you think we're evil towards children, yeah? Okay. You're saying that we're doing this to children. Well, okay. How about the president's son? Is he evil to children? Yeah? Is he evil to children? You want to talk about that? You want to talk about that? Since you're talking about you're saying that we're harsh and that we're doing this and we're doing these crumble. Do you want to talk about what the president's son did? Do you want to speak on that, or is that a bit of a touchy subject for you? Oh, you want to say that we're harming people and we're doing this and we're doing that. Well, what about what happened in March 2020 to around 2022? What was all that about? And then later on, you changed your mind on that. So what about that? What about there's a pipeline that goes under the ground, right? And somebody damaged it. Who did it? How comes the investigation into that has stopped? Oh, you're saying we ain't bringing out what's in the Bible properly and we're hateful and we're this and we're that. Well, look at what the Catholic Church is doing. Look at all the scandals and allegations that come out against them. What about that? You spent your time researching that? You got anything to say on that? Or you want to just come at us because you think that we ain't got no backing, but we have got backing, man. From Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. These are the kind of things that's going to be taking place when these people have the nerve to try and come at the Hebrew Israelites, man. We're going to be shown, whoever them people are, man, Yahweh's going to strengthen that person, man, to curse these people out, man. And it's not going to be a thing that they wrote down, or if he asks me this question, then I'm going to say that. But if he says this, then I'm going to trap him in his word, and I'm going to say that because I've got a counter answer to that question. And if he says this, I'm going to keep him in this place, and I'm going to no, it's not going to be like that. Verse 16, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, because some of our families are all up in this world, man. And they don't like how we've changed to believe in the Lord. They don't like that we don't, just a simple thing as not eating pork anymore. They don't like how we look with a beard. They think in their bugged out mind that was more handsome with a clean shaven face or a goatee, you know? Oh, I preferred when he had long cornrow braids. Or I preferred when he had a high top fade with a Mike Tyson slit in there. Or I prefer when he had his eyebrows slit. Or I prefer when he used to go with me to the tattoo parlor, right? And we used to get tattoos. And every single one of our birthdays that we used to celebrate, we'd always get another tattoo on our birthday. I miss when he was like that. That's what our families think. They think that we're weird now. They don't think that we was weird before. They think that we're weird now. A lot of them, man. So they're gonna think that they're doing a mercy if they was to harm us and cause us to not be on this world anymore, man. Or they're gonna cause us to be losing lives because they're gonna bait and snitch us up, man. And be like, oh, I'm really scared for my sibling, you know. Like I think he's one of them people, man. I think he's on that Hebrew stuff, twisting the scriptures. Here is his address. Come and get him. And in that situation is going to cause us to be in front of some kind of situation that's going to cause us, in certain cases, to be harmed, man. Verse 17, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So we're already been warned, man, that this world is going to hate us because we're speaking the truth, but it's because this world hates Yahweh Shai. Anyone that thinks that they're hated in this world and they thinks that the things that they've gone through is a lot, it might be a lot according to what your spirit can handle, right? But it's nothing compared to what Yahweh Shai's spirit can handle, right? Because Yahweh Shai had to go through things for everything, man, for everyone, Israelite. He suffered for every Israelite, what Israelites done for wickedness, man. For every single one. For every single one, man. But, yeah, man. I think I made the point, man. This world, yeah, all this media and all that is being prepared to try and come up against the Israelites, man. That's what it's being prepared for. And they're trying to set the stage to try and attack the poor, righteous man. And let me prove it with some more scriptures, right? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Meaning this is a wrong way to think, but they're reasoning with themselves, because if you get loads of wicked people together and they reason among themselves where they're all wicked, so there's not going to be no righteous judgment in the midst of that conversation. It's just going to be one wicked person massaging another wicked person's mind and encouraging another wicked person to become more wicked, while another wicked person is doing wickedly, promoting more and more wickedness, right? To be wicked. But not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. Now, the arrogance of these elites has become so vast that they don't even think that anymore. They think they can become immortal now. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our hearts, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And that's what people even try and say to us that believe in the Bible, man. Oh, when you get older, you're going to realize you wasted your life. Man, shut up, man. You people are wasting your lives. And Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, goes into the exact type of things that you people are going to be thinking when you realize that you wasted your lives. Back to this. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beam of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no there is no returning, for it is fast sealed that no man cometh again. That's what they think, man. That's that atheist mindset, that YOLO mind. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use creatures as in our youth. So if you think in that kind of mindset, it don't matter if there's a secret elite matrix, bro. Right? And here's the thing that's funny. One of these people that said they don't care about whether there's a secret amount of J-Wish people running the show and all of that, his brother, Andrew Tate, right? He's running around telling everybody that it's the Matrix, bro. So how are you going to say you don't care about if there's some J-Wish people doing things behind the scenes, but your big bro is running around telling everybody that it's the Matrix, bro. The Matrix is trying to arrest me, bro. The Matrix is getting me. Huh? Would it be fair to say that the Matrix that he's talking about could be those same people that you're saying it don't matter whether they're doing it or not? You sound like an idiot, bro. You sound stupid for all your money that you got. And you're an Israelite, but you're a stupid idiot. And you don't want to talk about it because you're shook. And the money is more comforting to you than to speak the truth, man. Your brother's talking about that it's the Matrix, bro. It's the Matrix, bro. There's a Matrix trying to do things to put him in a slave mind, right? Your brother's talking all of that, right? But then you're on another breath saying, who cares if there's a secret secret amount of J-wish people doing things behind the scenes? If you ain't even a billionaire, you shouldn't be talking about this. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, man. It's either there's either a Matrix, bro, as you want to talk about, right? It's either the Matrix and you should be talking about it, or don't talk about it. Which one is it? Because it sounds like in one breath you're saying talk about things that's happening behind the scenes, but then another breath you're saying, nah, but don't be too specific about who it is though. You sound like an idiot. But you've really been bought and paid for anyway, you guys, man. That's why you've been made to be brought before the forefront, been made to be looked at as though you're some tough guys. But when you've had MMA fights, you got wrapped up though. You know what I mean? You ain't really got as much hand as you think you are. The only reason why you win a lot of these fights against some of these wastemans on the road is because you're 6'4" and 6'3", man. It's easy to beat people up that are pussies when you're that size, you know? Real easy, bro. Real easy. You know? Verse 7. Verse 7, some of these guys are jokers, man. Right? And they've that money has made them be bought for, man. Verse 6, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion and our lot is this. So which one is it, man? Which one is it? Which one is it, man? Is there people doing this stuff behind the scenes? Is it a Matrix, bro? Or should we not talk about who it is? Because your brother's made a whole point about talking about that. But now all of a sudden, you're saying, nah, don't talk about it. But your brother talks about it though. Wouldn't the thing that you're saying don't talk about be the Matrix? You know what I mean? Like, these guys are funny, bro. They really think that they're so deep. And if I had 50 million in my bank account right now, this video that's probably gonna get one view, right, would have bare people on there being like, yeah, man, my man's singing it out here, you know. They'd be like, yo, my man's real, you know, mine's a real man, you know, my man's big in the game. They'd be just kissing my ass because they're hoping that I'm gonna break them off some bread, bro. They'd be kissing my ass, saying, yeah, this guy's deep, you know. Where can I send donations? That's what they'd be saying. If I had some shades on, right, and I had a Bugatti spinning it around town, right, a vlog with a couple of honeys, then they'd be like, you know what? I never looked at the world like that before, but now that you come to think about it, he's actually right, mate. But really in their mind, they're thinking, if I can copy what this guy's did, then I can get the same car and have the same women around me. And that's what people did with most of these guys, man. They're not trying to talk about these things because they care about these problems. They're trying to talk about it because now you can get money from it. So now there's a niche market in there to speak about things and get money. And you seem like you're deep, but really it's about getting money. Verse 10, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the aged. So this whole world is about oppressing the poor righteous man. It's not about oppressing the rich righteous man, because that don't really even exist. Because once people start getting that bag, right, they lose their mind, man, and they get to be around people that really are into things that the Bible speaks about, not that you're not supposed to be into, man. Verse 11, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Now, another way how you can say that verse 11 is like this, man. If it bleeds and I can kill it, I don't give a damn whether you think I did it or not, right? If it bleeds, I can kill it. So okay, you think I'm doing things behind the scenes? Okay, I am. What are you gonna do about it? That's the mindset that they have. Or you think that there's a secret this and there's a secret that, right? Okay, what are you gonna do about it? And that's why these people in this world take on a mindset, because they think that it's up to them to take it down. But no, we're not saying we're gonna take it down. We know who's gonna take it down. Yahweh Shai is gonna take it down. Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, is gonna take it down, man. We know this. But speaking about it is gonna cause fear to come into these people's hearts, because this is the message that people are scared of the most. And that's why all these men that are rich don't want to talk about what poor men are brave to talk about. A poor man's brave to talk about this, but a rich man that thinks he's so masculine and thinks that he don't take no mess. He's a bad mama. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth, right? He ain't want to talk. He ain't wanted to talk about these things. You know, he ain't trying to talk about that because he might lose some of his money. But then they'll tell us, "Oh, it's the Matrix, bro. You people are in the Matrix, and you have to resist the slave mind." Well, is it resist the slave mind, right? Well, then wouldn't it make sense to know who's producing his slave mind? Huh? Wouldn't it make sense to know that? But if you got in front of these people and you were saying these things to them, they're just gonna be looking you up and down, mate. My coat costs more than your host. They'll say some stupid comment like, mate, you see these snakeskin shoes I'm wearing, brother, young blood? It costs more than your shitty ass paycheck. That's the kind of mindset that these people have. Oh, I've got way more money in my bank balance than you, so you can't tell me nothing. You know? Or you see this jacket I'm wearing, it was sewn in Guatemala by two Ethiopians by Lake Mankatara. This cost twice your paycheck for the year, mate. So get back. You can't tell me anything. That's the kind of mindset that these people have, man. Mate, I can buy and sell your family 20 times over. That's the kind of things that these people would want to say to us if they was in front of us talking. They wouldn't be trying to hear anything that we got to say for real. They'd be like, mate, this guy's a bum. They were like, this guy's a bum. Like, what I spend on dinner, right, is this guy's whole paycheck for the month. I ain't gotta listen to what this guy says. I'm gonna go and eat some steak in a minute, and I'm not even gonna eat the whole thing. I'm just gonna go and buy a $500 steak with all the sides at the table, and I'm just gonna like snack it a little bit. I ain't really trying to eat all that. I'm just gonna show I can do it. You know, I'm drinking £2,000 wines, a glass. You think this guy's gonna tell me anything about what's going on in the world? What does he know? What colour's his Bugatti? Yeah, that's what these people think. Verse 12, man. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he's not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. So the world's against the poor righteous man, because he's clean contrary to their doings. So if you're in a world that's wicked, it's all hell. Of course you ain't gonna get rich and have supercars and be flying around dipping and zipping, with all the honeys, because the women are enticed by the wickedness. So the most wicked men are gonna have all the women because they've got the power of the world right now. But the world that we're speaking of is gonna be changed to where the most righteous men get the things that the wicked men are getting now. And at the same way how people are pushing forth lies is the same way how people are gonna be pushing truth. And there's a lot of Israelites that are pushing the wickedness right now. And they're gonna be in the kingdom through after death by pain. And when they're in the kingdom, after being reborn into the kingdom through reincarnation process, they're going to be embarrassed, man. And every single time that annual celebration comes, where we celebrate getting saved out of America, which is Babylon the Great, also known as the North Country in the scriptures, and from every other place where we've been scattered, and that day comes where they no longer say Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the North Country, and from all other places where they have been scattered and they should dwell in their own land, right? These people are going to be ashamed to know what they did in that time. oh, well, in that time, I was saying to people that they shouldn't really be even talking about that. But then at the same time, I was saying that there's a matrix. Or in that time, when they released the charagma on everybody, well, I was like, well, how am I gonna eat? And I had this girlfriend at one time, and her name was Jessica Bombay, and she was so fine and she told me to take it, so I took it, and then I got destroyed. And when I think about that day, I can still feel the flame. That's the kind of things that they're gonna be thinking in that time, man. And people will say, "Nah, my man's just chatting." Well, let's see if I'm just chatting, man. Are the things I'm saying that can they be found in the scriptures, or am I just spewing my own mind? Right? Daniel chapter 12 and verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust, right? And many of them that sleep in the dust shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Now, what's going to cause that shame and everlasting contempt? They're going to know that when it mattered most, they didn't do what was right. That's going to cause shame, because to get something amazingly beautiful, such as a place in the kingdom of heaven, even if it's a low place, through being born back into it again and being a part of the ruling class of that, knowing that you didn't do anything to bring that forth and was just a scoffer against your whole people and your heritage, that's embarrassing, man. That's dishonorable. That's dishonorable, man. I wouldn't want to have that. I wouldn't want to know that when the charagma, Revelation 13 and 16 to verse 17 came, that I was one of the first people in line with my hat, with both hand out. Like, I don't mind which hand you use. I'm ambidextrous. I can do it with both. That's disgusting, man. And that makes me feel actually sick right now as I'm saying it, man. And I'm not joking neither. That's disgusting to be like that. It's disgusting to sell out your own people and be painting up your body and feminizing yourself out for a paycheck and causing other children in your nation to do that and look up to you as an idol when you know the things that you did to be famous and they was degenerate and wicked. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. So there's people that have heard the truth. If a person's on the internet talking about I'm the most Googled man in the world, yeah, you've came across the truth of the Bible, the real truth of the Bible, man. You've came across it and laughed and looked at the people and were like, man, what are these clothes that they're wearing? Even the man's wearing spikes. You probably laughed at them. They're wearing spikes and sunglasses. But what they're saying about who these people are is true, though. On the sign, they're true about that. They might not be telling the truth on everything, but you'll be laughing at that. And then you might see, oh, but there's these other guys that they don't wear the spikes. But like, I don't really. They're a bit too radical for me, you know. I don't really rate my man's what they're saying. Like, they got some points, but like, what jobs did they do? Like, they kind of look a bit bummy to me. That's how you people think. You just cast it away despitefully. But the time's going to come when you're going to dwell in torments, man. Verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. So you people, through not knowing Yahweh and turning your back on him, have received benefits. You've been getting invited to the BET Awards, you know? You're out of town, rolling with your round, right? All that bullshit. Right? All them off lyrics. Hey, doing all that madness on stage, acting crazy as hell. You've been doing that. Putting on nail varnish, winding up your waist like a gal. All on stage and that, but about a year ago, you was fogged out. You promoting this, you promoting that. You smoking on this pack, producing all types of degenerate messages among your people, but you're getting rich from it though. You was dwelling in benefits, but didn't know the Lord. Verse 11, and they that have loathed my law, while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Right? So you heard about the repentance, you got told, right? Repent, otherwise the Most High is going to destroy you. And you was like, yeah, bro, that's real stuff, man. Yeah, I love the Lord. But then you ended up with seeing that the fact that you're degenerate, and now you're painting your nails, man. Like some waste, man. Verse 13. Therefore be not curious. In fact, verse 12. The same must know it after death by pain. Because there's a scripture that says, and so all Israel shall be saved. But they ain't all going to be saved in the same way. Some are going to be saved on the first go round and escape the second death. But some are not going to man. Some are going to have to experience the second death. Some are going to have to experience what it feels like. You know what? Let me get the prophecy, man. Let me get some prophecy up in here. Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all they that do wickedly shall be as stubble, and they shall come, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Right? So a day is coming that's gonna be hotter than an oven, man. It's gonna burn people up, man. So the people are gonna get, and this ain't talking about this ain't talking about global warming in the sense that people would think it is, but it is gonna be a global warmth though that's gonna be added. But this is gonna be caused by nuclear fire, man. And there's a lot of Israelites that are gonna get to feel what it feels like, man. They're gonna get to feel what this feels like. Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem, the real Israelites. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And a lot of these people that are right now talking fake truth in it off and that, yeah. Some of them are going to be made to be the bringers forth of the Karagma. And some of these people that think that they're so deep, both these men and these women, one of the things that they promote big in this world is cryptocurrency, right? But cryptocurrency is one of the major ways that this world is pushing forth that is going to cause for the Karagma, which is mentioned in Revelation 13, verse 16 to verse 17, to be brought onto the people. Because people have made a lot of money from that. And that's a big thing that loads of people have it, and they've got a wealth in regards to that. But unless they convert the wealth back to fiat currency, right, they can't use it. But they want to be able to use it as the form that it is. And one of the ways to do that would be the Karagma, the micro C hip. Take those letters, write them down, write down micro, write down the letter C, and write down the word hip, and you will see what we're talking about, man. Because this internet now, thanks to the Israelites, you can't talk about certain things anymore, because if you could talk plainly, the message of the Israelites is speaking would be clearer for everybody to understand straight up. But Yahweh's deliberately made it be spoken now in a more parabolic form, or a more parable type way, because he don't want everyone to receive this message, man. Because he don't, contrary to popular belief, he don't want everyone to repent. He don't want everybody to get this message, man. Now, I think I've said more than enough, man. The world's going to try and attack the Hebrew Israelites, right? They're going to try and produce a famine of the word, all types of stuff. But they're going to be made to look stupid when they do it. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, not a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Now, before that happens, they're going to try and put the Hebrew Israelites in front of people to try and make them look stupid. But then when they realize that that's flopped, then they'll be like, man, you know what? We've noticed through our Google searches that engagement in searching about what these people are about has skyrocketed through the roof. Clamp all the internet. Nah, man, we don't business no more. Cancel it all. Get rid of this, because so many people are talking about this now, right? Nah, it's not even funny. How many people are talking about this? Everyone and their mom is talking about this now. And their aunt too. Now we gotta just get rid of this. That's what's gonna be happening, man. That's the kind of thing that's gonna be happening. So they're gonna produce a famine of the word, and the people that know the word ain't gonna be trying to go out of their way to try and speak the word to you people. That when we tried to speak to you people about it in passing or whatever, that you're supposed to be a Bible believer, you rejected it and basically told us to F off. So when it's time for us that have the word and we've got it, what do you think we're gonna say to you people that didn't want to hear when we wanted to talk. We're going to tell you the same thing. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, not a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. They're going to be trying to find it, man. It's not going to be there. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They're going to be like, let me seek out the Lord in the days of my youth. Nah, it's too late now. You ain't going to have the chance. Because when the videos are all on the internet, right? You was on there making comments, scoffing. You didn't ever say, you know what? Let me buy a Bible. It's not really that expensive to buy a Bible. £10, £20, £30 at the most to get a full Bible. Okay, it's not really that expensive, but you know what? I've got a phone. Let me download a Bible app on my phone and see if what these guys are saying is true. You didn't even do that, some of you. Some of you didn't even want to download a free Bible app on your phone so you can have access to the words of the Bible. Or said, oh, these men ain't real because they're reading the words from their phone. As if the Bible isn't on the internet. As if the Bible isn't in app form now. Where should we get it from then in order for you people to believe it? Should we have a whole Torah Pentateuch scroll? Should we have a Paleo Hebrew and have to speak clear ancient Paleo Hebrew for the message to be real? Is that what we should have to do? When the famine of the word comes, man, after we've made these people look silly, after the Hebrew Israelites have made this world look silly, after they tried to put the Hebrew Israelites in front of the world to shame them, the world's going to realize then in that time, after they see that events are taking place in the world that they said, they're going to realize that the word of the Lord is true then. But by then, it's going to be too late because that's going to cause for them to produce a famine on it, man. And they're going to now want to try and seek it now that they feel, yeah, I'm almost 90% sure now what these people are saying is true because I'm seeing most of the things that they said. That thing that they said was going to be mandatory, it is. So now I believe it. But you're going to try and seek for those men. And the world's going to be so chaotic now that you ain't going to be able to find them. And Yahweh's going to make it be so that you can't find these people, man. He's going to guide them, men, so that they can escape being having to be around you demons, man. All praises, all praises, all praises. Kal Halal, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakah Kwadash. Shalom to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who are teaching the truth of the Bible, man, right? And double honors and, well, shalom, man. Shalom as well, man. Double honors to the apostles too, man. And shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And I want to say again, man, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, for allowing us people that are nothing in this world, man, to understand the mysteries of the earth, right? All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakah Kwadash, in the name of the Holy Spirit, man. All praises to Yahweh, in the name of his son Yahweh Shai, and in the name of the Holy Spirit, man, for giving us something that we can use to make us know that we're not the biggest, got the pieces of POS that this world tries to make us feel like we are every single day of our lives, man. And tries to mock how we don't have the same kind of accolades of finance in this world, man. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai that raised up the valley of dry bones, man, and made us realize once again that we're Israelites. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakah Kwadash, and shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, who are all the men, women, and children that are going to believe this message, despite what their skin color is. They're going to believe that they're an Israelite, man, and they're going to know in their spirit, man, that they're an Israelite, and they're going to reject anybody trying to say anything against this word, and they're going to believe, man. Shalom to them. Shalom to you if you are one of them people, man, wherever they are, man. Shalom.